Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 5 topics for this video. One related to Iran and what Iran calls its right to self-defense. Therefore, they could retaliate against a country who shot a guest of a particular government, of a sovereign country, and using a missile or so. So they claim that's self-defense now. If you disagree with that, put yourself in Iran's shoes, for instance. That's one. The other one, the Russians claim that the American and British weapons are used on Russian territory, and they are upset about it. There's no surprise here, but I thought I should just mention that British tanks and American infantry vehicles are operating in Kursk, and some of them were blown up by the Russians. I just posted a video a minute ago with 3 videos showing 2 Lancet drones, each of them $20,000 worth, destroying 2 Stryker US armored infantry vehicles worth each in 2012 $5 million. So 20,000, 40,000, 5 million, 10 million. 10 million at the 2012 value. I don't know how much is it right now, probably 10 million each. So you make the mathematics, arithmetics calculations, and you realize how your children are with paying for this. Another topic, we have Pentagon, not the merchant of death, which is Victor Bout. Remember, Victor Bout is the merchant of death, not the Pentagon yet. Reports give us some details on the latest attack, drone attack on the US base, illegal base in northeastern Syria. I have to remind you, Syria is an independent sovereign country with sovereignty. You can find it at United Nations listed over there. The government is recognized, and it has an occupation force in Syria on their territory, uninvited, just illegally occupying and sucking a lot of oil from the northeast part of Syria. So we'll find out how that strike on the US illegal base in Syria ended up, the results according to Pentagon. So that means they will probably minimize or maximize depending on what move they want to make based on that. If you want to smack someone in the head, you're going to say, well, the consequences were great, the results of the attack. If you just don't want to do that, you minimize it, saying, not a big deal, just children playing. All right. Now, Russia declares federal emergency in another region, and the last topic is related to how many Russians have been evacuated from the 2 regions, which is Kursk and Belgorod. And that is, let's start with the first article coming from Russia Today. Here it is. This is from the 15th of August 2024. British tanks taking part in Ukrainian incursion into Kursk region. Sky News. So they say it. Reports claim one of the Challenger 2 tanks donated to Kiev may already have been destroyed on Russian territory. So, what are they going to do about it? Nothing. It's clear what's going on. You are attacked. Last time when you were attacked was in the Second World War. Ukrainian forces are using British Challenger 2 main battle tanks inside Russia's Kursk region. Sky News reported on Thursday. The UK government has donated 14 of its main battle tanks and encouraged other NATO nations to provide their heavy weapons after the move was announced in January 2023. They were delivered to Ukraine's 82nd Air Assault Brigade, but were mostly kept in reserve after some of them being destroyed by Russian drones and artillery during Kiev's attempted counter-offensive later that year. The thing is, the Brits told the Ukrainians to not engage them in risky operations. So don't use the weapons in risky operations. But what are you going to use in risky operations? I covered that multiple times. So on Wednesday, a Russian military-focused Telegram channel claimed that a video of a drone attack on a Ukrainian tank released earlier by another outlet shows the destruction of a Challenger 2. The footage was originally published last Sunday. It allegedly shows, you see, that's why Russians are still doing some reporting. They say allegedly, reportedly, unlike these guys, Russians they did this, that's a fact. It's a statement right there. These guys let room for maybe it's not so. We're just reporting here. I'm not saying they are perfect, but you can read on your own and see how the Russians give you a summary and the other guys give you a lengthy, baboonish explanation and shaping the papa that you get lost. Or you get lost and then you find the answer coming to you from your subconscious that listen to the garbage you read from that media outlet. The US and its allies have claimed that they did not have advanced knowledge of the Ukrainian offensive in Russia. Well, they did. They said they did. But expressed their support, Podolyak said in an interview today, I think it was, but expressed their support for it and the use of their weapons. Britain's Labour government stressed Labour this week that its policy on donated arms does not differ from that of the former Conservative government. Former Defense Secretary Ben Wallace told the Times that he established the rules which allow Ukraine to hit targets inside Russia with anything given to them, with the exception of long-range Storm Shadow missile. Well, that's going to come. If that involved the use of British weapons, as long as they were used in accordance with international law, that was always permitted, he said. Well, so why do you cry? Because you still believe what the guys in the West tell you? That's on you then. You're infantile. Nothing. And vice versa. Don't get me wrong. Vice versa. But I think that one side in this conflict has more, how do you call it? I'm not saying is to be more trusted, but they're more consistent in evil or in good. The other side is inconsistent. They tell you, I will not send tanks, they send. We're not going to send fighter jets, they send. We're not going to send long-range missile systems, they send. We're not going to send these rockets, they send. We're not going to send infantry, armored infantry vehicles, they send. We're not going to send this, they send. We're not going to send troops. All right? So all these things were lies. Or, as in America, some idiots are trying to change our civilization. I changed my mind. Okay. Well, you can change your mind, but that has consequences. And it seems like it's a pattern. That's why they're not consistent. They change their mind all the time. Now, you don't do business with this kind of people and don't trust shit coming out of their poop hole. All right. Let's go to the next one. Russia Today. Pentagon reveals losses in Syria attack. The US has blamed Iran for a drone strike on its base in the northeast of Syria. 8 US troops were injured in a drone attack on their base in northeastern Syria. The Pentagon has revealed initial reports of the strike mentioned no casualties. They had to figure out what the political consequences could be, implications. According to the footage shared online last week, a drone may have started, again, reporters, my friends, started a fire at the installation in Rimelan, near the border with Turkey and Iraq. Air Force Major General Patrick Ryder, the spokesman for the U.S. Department of Defense, revealed the number of injuries to reporters on Tuesday. The 8 personnel affected were treated for traumatic brain injury, so they're just scared. Exactly. And smoke inhalation. What kind of smoke? Okay. He added that, and 3 of them have already returned to duty, so not a big deal. According to Ryder, the U.S. believes, believe, you know or you don't know, believe, bye-bye, believes that, and I'm quoting, Iran-backed forces, and quote, carried out the attack, but the Pentagon is still working to determine which particular militia may have been behind it. You know who? The same guys who were blamed after the September 11. Saddam Hussein. and his weapons of mass destruction, training terrorists, protecting them and all that. Lies after lies after lies. So they are right now thinking, who should they blame so they can go up or have a positive repercussion, or they can use it as an argument for their future illegal invasion of Syria. That's what it is. All right, so let's go to the next topic. Russia Today again. It's going to be Russia Today, I know, but what can you do? These guys are giving us information. The other guys are giving us information. But these are propaganda outlets. You gotta be careful, all right? Ours, because we own them, are just squeaky clean. Russia declares federal emergency in another region. A high-level commission has ordered a measure in Belgorod following Ukraine's cross-border incursion. So let me show you where that is. Right there. This is Belgorod right here, and this is Kursk. This is in the east, let's say northeast of Ukraine. As I said, Belgorod is right here. This is Kursk. This is Russia. All right, we got that covered. A federal emergency has declared in Russia Belgorod region amid a cross-border incursion by Ukrainian forces, the emergency ministry in Moscow has announced. Last week, Kiev launched its latest attack on Russian territory. Now, sometimes, I'm not saying that's the case. Yes, these baboons are celebrating, but they don't know that that could give Russia the right to activate their nuclear weapons use protocol, which is, we are under threat, we have to stop it right now, we can't handle it, you guys are too good. Therefore, click, 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 clock, 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 okay? Many times, certain parties let things just go out of control so they can activate something that they could have prevented. I will give you an example. I'm not saying that's what happened, but you can take the major failure of October 6th, 7th of last year, of the Israelis' intelligence, and it was the biggest failure. And then what happened? What's been happening? That could be one, and others where people just, okay, do it, yeah, do it. All right. Hey guys, look, it's too late. We have to, activate this. Clip, boom. And everybody's like, and then you come with the justification. Yeah, but we had to. Baboons, we had to. Otherwise, you would have been all dead because of the incursion. We couldn't stop it. They were too good. The Americans were too strong for us. Therefore, to defend you, we had to click, click, click our nuclear warheads, and boop, boop, boop. Unfortunately, the Ukrainians, not the guys behind the Ukrainians. All right, so that gets me to this article coming from ABC News, another trustworthy American media outlet, infiltrated by Operation Mockingbird. No, I'm just kidding. Nearly 200,000 Russians being evacuated after massive Ukrainian attack. This is the same thing as this. I let that go, or maybe they can't stop it at this point. What are you going to do? Let them go to Moscow? No. Nearly 200,000 people are being evacuated following one of the largest Ukrainian attacks on Russian territory. Russian officials said Wednesday. The overnight strikes marked the biggest combined attack on Russia's Air Force infrastructure since the start of the full-scale war, which 3 Russian military airfields targeted, sources of the Security Service of Ukraine told ABC News. There were actually 4. So, Russian Air Defense Forces destroyed 117 Ukrainian drones and 4 Tochka-U missiles over 8 regions of Russia overnight. 8! Including Kursk, Voronezh, Belgorod, Nizhny Novgorod, and the Russian Ministry of Defense said in a statement. Nearly 194,000 people are going to be evacuated from the Kursk and Belgorod regions due to the Ukrainian military offensive. What are they going to do? Beep. And that's the last article here. Iran's new president asserts right to retaliation in rare phone call with major U.S. ally, that is United Kingdom. Great Britain? Newly elected Iranian president Masoud Pezeshkian stressed his country's right to retaliation against Israel in a rare phone call with the United Kingdom. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer made clear, like a principal to a student, to Pazeshkian. So this is a prime minister and the other one is just Pazeshkian. During a 30-minute call that, and I'm quoting, war is not in anyone's interest. Well, stop those imbeciles first, and then we will not do anything about it. And urged Tehran to refrain from attacking Israel. But did he say the same thing to the Israelis? And if not, why not? And if he said it, do you think it matters? Do you think Israel cares? The call followed a joint statement from the heads of the United States, United Kingdom, and 3 other European countries. I tell you, those are Italy, France, and Germany, telling these guys and saying, you know what, bye-bye, bye-bye. The support, and I'm quoting, of some Western countries for the Zionist regime is irresponsible and contrary to international standards, since it endangers regional security by encouraging the Zionist regime to continue its crimes. End quote. President Paz, they said you're just Pazeshkian, reportedly told Starmer. Tension remained high, after Israel alleged assassination of Hamas commander Ismail Hani Papap, who was in Tehran at the time of his death. Iran denounced this guy's murder and blamed Israel, even though this guy died in what was later determined a localized explosion that killed no Iranian citizens. So they are trying, these guys, to shape it in this way. That guy was a terrorist, right, Hamas. And he was in a sovereign country and just died. An explosion and died. But hey, no Iranian died, only that criminal who's not Iranian. So you should not even care that someone blew that guy up. Now, if they don't know who did it, this guy, he was not Iranian anyway, why do you care? Well, imagine that, let's say in Washington, D.C., not Tehran, Washington, D.C., there's a guy over there who, let's say, Iran doesn't like, right, or considers terrorist. And an explosion occurs in a hotel and that guy dies, but no American citizens dies. Would you just say, no American died, that's fine. That's an explosion in your capital. Perpetrated by whom? We don't know. Now let's get the other alternative. It was, let's say, Israel did it. Let's say Iran did it in Washington, D.C. What would you say? It was not an American citizen, the explosion. We're A-okay with that? You will not say that. I guarantee you that. But here, you did it to me too, I did it to you too, so, but don't hit me back though. Don't hit me back. And everybody's like, don't strike. Let them do this again and again and again. Just let them do it. Why? They own us. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, stay strong, stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.